Hey everyone, it's Jim T. Graham, Jason Cole, and a very special guest, a very special podcast, Frank Noll. Frank, what's going on?
Well, firstly, I got a question. What makes me special?
Well, you're special because you're not Jason Noll.
I've been called a lot of names, but never special.
Yes, well, now you're special. So, everyone, this is the RC Groups Hangout YouTube video and possibly a podcast, depending on if it gets chosen to rise above the ranks of only a video and going all the way to audio. I want to start out by thanking our podcast sponsor, Hobby King at hobbyking.com. Let me move my camera just a little bit over this way. And I would like to introduce my new mic. It just started working today, and hopefully I sound as good as Cliff Whitney when he talks at events. So we're going to kick it off. We're going to kick it off with Frank. Frank has, and I'll tell you why he's here as our live viewers come on. Frank has the XFC. Let's talk about history, Frank. How many years ago did you first start the XFC?
The very first year was 2004. We started in Troy, Ohio, and it was an invitational event back then. That's where it started out. We did airplanes and helis. We didn't know what it was going to grow into at that point to the size and the magnitude of the event. It was really conceived between Wendell Atkins and myself. We were sitting down over pizza one night, and having come back from the TOC competitions that I had participated in, we were discussing this, and we got to talking about, the people come out to watch the freestyles. They don't come out to watch the precision portion of it.
Right.
So what I told him, I said, so why don't we just do a freestyle competition? And Wendell, being a heli nut, he started rounding up some of the heli guys and brought them in. So we combined the two together to be able to have a crossover between the two segments of the hobby. And that's where it basically started, over pizza.
So I think I was at that first show. Was Manuel Santos at the very first one?
Yeah, he was actually. Manuel sent me a video and then sent me about 400 emails, and Manuel's a promoter. If anybody knows Manuel's a promoter. He likes the big stage, and he likes to get in there and have some fun with everybody. So, and he was a great addition to the contest. I mean, ever since then, he's been part of it in some respects.
We did an interview with him where he spoke Spanish and I interpreted it into English, but I don't speak Spanish. And it was hilarious. That was my first interaction with Manuel. I'm going to have to find that, Jason. Maybe I can find that video.
I did it somewhere, yeah.
Jim Burke was there.
Say what? He did it at Toledo bar in the bar at the lounge at the Toledo show one time too.
That was our second edition, yeah. And so I totally remember the very first show and the event. I remember the old president of Hobbyco was there. Dang it! How can I not remember his name?
You're talking about Hemming? Hemming?
No. Well, maybe I'm getting it wrong, but who?
Bruce Holochek. Bruce Holochek.
This is the guy that retired, one of the OGs. Jason, you know what I'm talking about. I have a Charger with his.
You're not talking about Don Anderson.
Yeah, Don Anderson was there.
Yeah, Don was a lifeblood of Hobbyco for many, many years.
Right. But it was quite an event, and then you've had it ever since. I cannot tell you the amount of hours I spent under that hot sun shooting videos of helicopter pilots. The closest I've come to dying. Okay, this is probably not a good way to take this interview, but just watch yourself when you're around helicopters. So that brings us all to now. So let's fast forward. The XFC took a break. You took a break from Hobbyco.
Yep.
I'm going to tell you something I said, Frank. I don't know if you've ever heard this. And this is Hobbyco is now something else now, so I'm not out of turn saying this. When I met with the then marketing director, the new marketing director that they brought in from an external, not an RC-based guy, and I was introduced in that meeting, and the lady said, and I won't name her name, she said, listen to Jim Graham. He knows what he's talking about. And I said, if there's one thing I would urge you not to do. Jason, do you think I'm crossing any lines here?
I don't know what you're about to say. So
Oh, good. I said, don't let go of Frank Noll. I said, he is your icon. He is your tie to RC history. He has contacts with everybody in the hobby. And I said, if there's one thing I would ask you or tell you not to do, it would not let go of Frank Noll. And 6 months later, you were gone.
Yeah. They that was start of the decline of the company. They went through budgets and started axing salaries, and I was, I guess, on the list. So.
And that's how that works, I'm sure. But the XFC kind of went on the back burner at that time. But it wasn't it like a year later that you brought it back on?
Well, actually, when that happened, the last year of the XFC, I was still employed at Avico, so that was in 2015.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was 2015, 2016, one of the 2 years. But anyway, that was the last year that I was there. And we had moved it from Muncie to Champaign for quite a few reasons. I mean, most of it was logistics of being able to run the event in a closer proximity to where we lived.
So here we are now. Yeah. Tell us about what's going on now, right?
Right now, ever since I stopped putting it on, I'm inundated with emails from, like, we have nothing in the U.S. now for this type of competition. So Europe's got, a bunch of heli events. They've got the knockoffs of the XFC, the EXFC, and stuff like that over there. There's still nothing here in the U.S. So with life changes and situation change, moving, I'm currently in Virginia, and it's, I just didn't have the time to devote to it to do it properly. So we finally got around to the point where it was like, okay, it's time, let's bring it back. I didn't want to bring back the old XFC because over the years I'd always tried to maintain some sort of change and keep it fresh every year. So that was the whole intent. Well, myself, I'm a pretty decent avid golfer, and being familiar with the Ryder Cup in golf and the energy in a non-excitement environment at a golf tournament, the Ryder Cup is gone berserk. So that kind of gave me the idea to do a Ryder Cup type format for the XFC, and to bring it back into that city. So, having done that, I sat down with Will and the guys, Will Berninger and Steve Califf, Mark and Cheryl Jorgensen, all the people that have been with us with the XFC from the very beginning. They're all still there, and they're all like, yeah, let's go, let's do it again. They are the first ones to jump on board and say, yeah, we're ready. So I presented this new format to them, and they all seemed pretty excited about it. And then we got into the situation of like, how do we pull it off?
Right.
Great idea, but how do you make it work? So with the new format and the increase in the jet market and the interest in the jet market, I decided to implement a section of that into the XFC as well for freestyle, since jets are becoming more available and more aerobatic for that type of flying. So we incorporated and added a third class to the XFC. So, which, by the way, is I don't know if on the XFC website, if you guys want to go there, I gotta give a shout out to Pablo Fernandez. He is donating a custom built, one of a kind paint scheme designed Avic SS or Avic SS for one of the XFC raffle prizes. And Jag RC, Greg Alderman, and those guys are doing a custom engraved set of landing gear for it. So that's just the very first prize that we're going to be giving away that you'll get a chance to win. So
where would that's on the website, Frank?
Yeah, that's advertised on the website.
Oh, there it is. Okay, well, let me jump over there, everyone. Jason, I just put a notice out on Facebook that we were talking live
with Frank Noll.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're on the site and we're looking at that Havoc SS.
It is wicked looking, man.
I flew a Havoc. and it's probably the best flying jet out there. Also, that same day, I got Jace the Ace Ducia on his first flight on a Havoc. So as soon as you said this jet section, is Jace going to fly in the jet portion of the competition?
Actually, Jace has applied for both the airplane and the jet side, as well as a bunch of the top 3D guys, 3D airplane guys, have also applied for the jet segment too.
Well, that's a hot little ticket. I believe something like that would run you about $15,000 all up out the door. I think the airframes are around 9,000.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that's just the first part. That's just the one key item right now that we're working on. I haven't even really pursued any type of corporate sponsorship for any of these events. They've all come to the XFC because of they see the interest is and they see what's going on with it. So
we have
kind of nice.
Yeah.
Because in the past, we always had to go out there and bang on doors and please, can you help us support us? And now they see the manufacturers see the value in it, and they're coming to us now, which is a great feeling, and we're very appreciative of what they're doing.
And the content, there's not as many big contests. I mean, if anyone remembers the heyday of RC, it's definitely you. And something like this is what you have to do to bring it all back, I think.
Yeah. Well, as you know, it's no big secret that the hobby's struggling. I'll say struggling at the moment, but and we just need something for everybody to focus on and get excited about, whether they're flying or just coming to watch. Everybody likes to go watch the Thunderbirds, even though you've probably seen them a half a dozen times or a dozen times. You still want to go see it. So it's just the thing of just getting everybody together with aviation and a particular type of flying mentality, so that they can all enjoy it and have fun together. Hopefully it'll spur some interest in the hobby again.
So did we already say where you're going to have it this year?
No, we haven't. Actually, Horizon Hobby has graciously jumped on board to be our anchor sponsor. And in working with them, I'm not sure how many people have been to Eli Field there in Monticello, which is just outside of Champaign. They have a really gorgeous field, paved blacktop runway, plenty of parking, plenty of RV camping. So anyway, we're working a situation out with the host club there at Eli Field. That's where we're going to hold it in July is 26th to the 28th, I believe, this coming year. So,
it is a beautiful field. They have a huge indoor area where you can store your stuff. That's like an air hangar, and then behind that they have a full-scale train museum. So there's steam engines that will go by throughout the day. There's a hotel, if you are sincerely interested at this very moment. There's a hotel down the road from the field that you can book, and if you don't get that, there are hotels all around the area. Plus, since Horizon's there, you're surrounded by guys like David Payne, Matt Andrin, Kim, and all movers and shakers of the industry.
Yeah. And you might be able to knock on the door and say, hey, you got a spare bedroom or something. Sorry, David. Sorry.
Yeah, I've never asked Kim and David to stay at their house. Maybe next time.
Yeah. So, no, I'm just kidding. There's plenty of space around the area for all types of hotels. And like I say, if you want to bring your trailer or camper or RV or whatever, tent, there's plenty of spot, property there to be able to pitch a tent and stuff. So.
Do we want to talk about the people that are so far on the list? Do you want to look at that, or where do you want to go next?
Well, I hope to within the U.S. we got the international teams all finalized. Those are done. The U.S. teams. Now, what you got posted there? Those are just the applicants. Those aren't the final. Those are just the people that have applied for that particular class. So the international teams, those are already those have been selected. We've made whatever changes we need to be, and seeing how we had it originally set up to where we're going to run eight members per team per class, which will give you say for instance, you got the international has got 8 airplanes, 8 helis, and 8 jet pilots. Okay. Now the international team on both on the heli segment and the United States heli segment have been light, and it's no big secret that the heli market is down. I talked to some of the manufacturers, and they don't understand what's going on. You know, for years the heli guys have been the ones that have been most adamant about bringing the XFC back, and we didn't get the response this year that we were actually hoping for out of the heli segment. So in doing so, we had allotted for a certain amount of pilots in each group to be able to compete. Right? Some of those now are light, and some of them, say for instance, like on the U.S. airplane and the international airplane side, are inundated with people that are wanting to get in. So we're taking some of the spots from the jets and from the helis and allowing more international or more airplane pilots to be able to participate. So, you know, I kind of expected it, and I already made provisions to be able to do that. So it's not a big, like, whoa, God, what are we going to do now? You know, we're going to work around it, and everybody will still be there and have a great time.
So one of the reasons that Frank is on today is that Frank and I have been talking, and we're looking at ways to whittle down the list. And so the concept right now, Jason Cole is hard at work making sure all of this is feasible, is that Frank, the concept was, why don't you go over the concept loosely about how we're going to do this?
Okay. All right. So we've eliminated down, and this is all based on time allotments to be able to get flights in per day. We'd love to bring everybody in that had applied, but there's just not enough daylight to get it all in. Plus we have to complete 2 rounds each day. One is their freestyle with the known maneuvers incorporated into that we give them, and the other one is a pure freestyle, which is all on their own. So we can't just do one day and one the next day. We have to do one of each both days. To be able to get that done, you can't. You just got to limit the amount of pilots coming in. So what we're doing is we set a number of what we can take in from each category. We've already got the international teams established. Adi Kochev, which is the team captain, the international team captain, who lives in Israel. We talk daily. We're all set on his end. Now, what we're going to do is on Flying Giants, we're going to have, and Jim has already offered to set this up and get everything up and going, which is great. We are going to have there'll be a thread for each of the classes, description of what's going on in each one of them. So when it comes to the American classes, since we're over applied, I'll use that term, since we're over applied, the goal is to list who our captain's picks are. These are the guys that we know as the XFC committee for the US. We know those are the guys that we want to be in. Okay? Now it's only a percentage of the team. So the rest of the team, we want to have the modeling communities that come in and let you guys vote on your own US team. So that's what Jim and I and Jason are working on right now, is getting this squared away on the website. And Jim, you'll probably be able to give a better idea on when this might go live.
Well, we have our list, right? You sent me the list, and that's finalized, except for one thing, right?
Right.
And then once that's finalized, then I say we go live with these polls. And Jason was on earlier verifying that all that's there and ready to rock. And we'll create a poll for each thing that you'll be able to vote on. And then I'll create a master feature story talking about the whole event. And then that will give links off to these polls that will allow you to vote.
Great. Perfect. So that's kind of where we're at right now. The next step is to start working with the individual pilots that are on the team rosters, the final rosters, working with them, getting their photos, bios, getting clothing and stuff, because it's, we want to have team team shirts for everybody to, if we're going to do it, we're going to do it right.
I'm not seeing. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm not seeing Manuel's name on the international team. Is Manuel officially a marketing guy now?
No, Manuel. I think Manuel's in I would say it's a two-facet thing. Number one, he's just busy as hell, with his work, and I can understand that. And I think I praise him for doing it. He's passing the reins to little Manuel.
Right.
Flying, and that's his focus, which is perfect. I mean, that's great. I don't, like so many people that have been in the hobby for a while. The competition aspect of it, you like to do it, you like to practice and everything, but when it comes to the competition, it's like, okay, whatever. I just don't. It's just not there anymore. And I think he's probably at the same stage of a lot of people that have been around for a while.
Gotcha. That makes all the sense. Jason, do you have any questions about XFC V2?
Yeah, well, the guys in the chat were asking about the raffle. I said, how do I enter the huge XFC V2 raffle?
Well, once it'll probably be a PayPal ticket setup that you'll be able to buy online prior to, and then you'll also be able to purchase tickets at the event. If by chance you can't, if you're waiting to the event, you can buy them there. If you can't make it to the event and you want to take chances on it, we'll have a PayPal, some sort of an electronic system set up.
And the way it works on FG is that we can't have raffles on FG, but we can link to your raffles. So there'll be a link out to the main site, and you would go to the xfcv2.com main site to do all that kind of stuff.
Right. So, and that's another step in the process. We haven't quite got that far yet. So right now we're in a situation where we're just trying to get the teams situated and get the groundwork all set.
Gotcha. Jason, any other questions?
No, I think I'm looking forward to it. We'll get the polls set up here shortly, and it'll be rocking and rolling, man. Just looking forward to the event and good times, good weather. Should be a blast.
Yeah, kind of disappointed I didn't see your name on the applicant list anymore.
Oh, Frank, I only compete in planes with no motors now.
Yeah.
Jason, do your humble brag. Tell them about how high, at your last competition, what happened.
Yeah, I was going for the USA team for F3K, flying discus launch gliders, and it was basically a 3-day contest, and I was in first place for 2.5 out of the 3 days.
Oh.
I kind of blew it at the end on 2 rounds, and basically 2 flights put me out of first place, and I didn't make the team. But it was a blast.
Yeah, how's your arm?
Yeah, still recovering.
Yeah,
long contest.
Yeah, that's a great event. I mean, just being around and just listening to those things when they launch.
Oh yeah,
wow.
Yeah,
that whistle and that hum.
So,
Cool.
Frank, is there anything else you want to go over while we have this? Jason, what I'm going to do is cut this podcast off here and then start another one. Very possibly. So this is a pure XFC podcast that I can use in the future.
Yeah, and I don't have to talk about any of my stuff until after I've flown it, so maybe next week. But
okay,
I'm good for whatever. Yeah.
Frank, last words, thoughts, URLs, things like that.
No, just there has already been a little bit of trash talk going on between the two teams. And I think I think that the teams have been selected. I think you will see that escalate to a whole new level. So because after looking at some of the international pilots, they got a strong team. I will say they got a strong team, but I still don't think they're in our same league, and that's okay. If we gotta bring them over here to show them, smack their butt a little bit, and then send them back home, that's great.
Huh.
Well, we're gonna find out, aren't we?
We had a question from the live chat on what XFC stands for. It stands for Extreme Flight Championships.
That's it. That's it exactly. And the V2 is the new version, obviously.
New format. Yep.
All right. Well, the website is xfcb2.com. And if you go to Flying Giants right now, we're going to load this up. Here's what's going to happen. We're going to jump out of here, and then Jason and Frank and I are going to start working on getting these polls working correctly and in those sections. So you would go to flyinggiants.com, and at the special events section, you'll see XFCB2. I was going to put the year there, Frank, but I thought that I wouldn't because I'm sure it will live there for many years, and there's no need for a year, right? That's how I do Joe Noll now. It's just
well, with the V2, that's its own designation now. So
that's right. So you can go in there and check it out. And then probably in the morning, I'll create the feature story, and that'll live on the homepage and all that good stuff. And then we'll be fully XFC ingrained into the site.
Right. And then from there, they'll be able to go ahead to the voting polls.
Yep.
Within that. Okay. All right.
And then take care of business. Frank, Jason Cole had affected you earlier a few years ago where you got on his Segway or whatever the heck he rides around. And then you and your significant other purchased them. Are you still riding those around, and how is her broken bone?
Her wrist is healed. It was fractured. It's been fine. We are down to one Segway now.
Did she give it up after that?
I'm really bad about that.
Yeah, and actually, I had, you can track those with the mileage, as Jason knows.
Yeah. Yep.
On mine, I sold mine, and it had 400 and some odd miles on it. I used the one that Tina has here, and I take the dogs out for runs. We live in a rural area, and we go down the road. It's about a mile each way. I take them down there and down to the lake and back, and I think I'm just about ready to cross over 1,000 miles on it.
Wow, that's awesome. I haven't even looked. I'll have to see what I've done.
Yeah, I want to know next week, Jason.
That's awesome.
And Frank, do you have a favorite airplane that you're flying right now? The one that you always take out with you?
Well, it all depends if I want to go beat something up or if I want to really show off. If I want to beat something up, I take my extreme flight, take the MSX out. And
Chris Henson
is a hoot to fly. I mean, I've owned two of them. It's the only airplane I've ever owned two of. I mean, so,
gotcha.
And then when it comes to if I just want to go make some noise and go fast, I've got a BDM fifth scale F-16.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I see Nick is on the line. I also saw that Nick is working on a review on the new Real Flight 8 on I guess it's the Horizon version, right, Jason?
Yeah. Yep.
So that's being prepped. Next week, you'll be able to see some Horizon video of me and my Inductrix BL, which I can get a little quick look right here. It is a sweet little machine.
Wait a minute. This might be an RCGroups podcast first. Where's the braids?
Oh, yeah. I unbraided my hair.
Oh.
No one noticed. Nice. It's only been like 9 years. Yeah,
braids are gone.
I was we're kind of diverging from our content, but my mom I'm going to Mexico to visit my mom for Christmas, and she had commented that she thought my hair was too long, which it was stupid long, like crazy people long. Huh?
How could she tell?
She saw a picture of me at Halloween, and so I thought, well, I'm gonna trim it up to make her happy for Christmas, and I cut a little more than I thought. So then I thought, well, this is a good time to pull the braids out. So I unbraided.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
Now
I would never have known.
So anyway, we'll talk about this next week. I actually have a video of me flying this in an amazing amount of distance through multiple. It's pretty cool. I've got the video, and it's not edited or anything, but that's ready. I'll have the review done by next Thursday. Dang sure. And then Jason's got some stuff too from Horizon he's going to talk about.
See you, senor.
All right, everybody. Well, once again, thanks to our podcast sponsor, Hobby King and HobbyKing.com. Go check them out. They just came out with the new Avios. What was it, Jason? I did the story. I should know.
What, the Spitfire?
Spitfire. That we have a thread right now over 100 pages talking about this dang thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm sure people are excited that it is now released. And what else? Big thanks to Frank Noll. Be sure to go to XFCV2 and get updates, and then go to Flying Giants as well to cast your vote and pick your American team. I want to thank Jason Cole for working all week long. Still no days off since we missed our Thanksgiving, since the server got switched. Are we going to take a day off, Jason?
Come Christmas, I'm sure we will, yeah.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Work sick.
Actually, I'll be taking off on December the 20th and 21st because I'm having surgery on my nose. So I will be out of pocket for that for sure.
Nick, if that spit comes up, I'll make sure it goes your way, man. In fact, I'll put out a note on that. Let's see.
Yeah. I wonder what Vegas odds are on that.
If the spit comes up?
No, if Jason actually gets it.
Oh. All right. Well, I think that is it. I want to thank Frank Noll for short notice. We were chatting, and I said, Frank, do you want to be on the podcast? And he said, when? And I said, 15 minutes, and here he is. So thank you, Frank.
Not a problem. As always, guys, I appreciate it. Fun talking to you. Let's do it in person next time.
All right. Sorry that we're ending early. We got more to come next week. And we're not actually, while we will stop the broadcast, we'll still be working hard bringing you content on Flying Giants. So Jim T. Graham, Jason Cole. Jason, looks like you need to say something.
I do not need to say a thing.
I don't know. Thanks for noticing the braids. Billy, or Jim T. Graham, RCGroups.com.